are fine, but in words of my 1993 English World Championship challenger Nigel Short, checkmate ends the game. It's not that simple, but sometimes it is. We often talk about piece values, especially in the imbalanced positions, where we just have to see how some pieces could even value more than they normally do, and whether at some points the rook and the pawn is more valuable than two light pieces, or a queen does better than two rooks. So the numerous combinations where we just have to take into account every detail, and it just requires a lot of understanding of the game. But the king's value is unlimited. It's ultimate. If it is lost, attacked with no escape, the game is over. That's checkmate. And it's not too common to see a checkmate on the board in grandmaster play. Usually we resign long before it happens. But sometimes lightning strikes, or very close. So let's start with a game I played ages ago, more than 4 decades ago, in Banja Luka against a Yugoslav grandmaster Knežević. As you can see, black pushed its pawn to e2, and though it cannot be promoted because white controls the square, but it still can assist a very simple mating construction. So I played here queen f1 check, and he resigned because if he takes my queen, then the pawn is promoted. Queen appears again, and as you can see, the checkmate. Yeah, simple, but still nice. I remember my opponent being in time trouble, so got almost shocked when he saw queen f1. Maybe it's psychologically, it's just difficult to see because the bishop is just, it's like a hidden resource. So it's the secret long-range weapon. And then just, shrug his shoulders and stop the clock. So it was 1979, and you could say, oh, that was played against a mediocre grandmaster. But I have a couple more games from top 10 players that also ended in a checkmate. It was against Alexei Shirov in 2001. So blank king is under attack, being checked, and Shirov had to go back with the king, and though white still has significant advantage, but it's yet not winning. White is better, but it would take some creativity and hard work to win the game. But in a time trouble, Shirov instinctively pushed the king. It's always nice to have your king activated in the end game, because it could attack the pawns, and in theory, there's very little for a king to be afraid of when the queen's gone and most of the pieces disappeared. But there are two rooks there, by the way, a couple of pawns, and all of a sudden, after rook d4, black king is trapped. It's the checkmate is inevitable. So, and Shirov immediately resigned. Another game, where I was lucky, against Veselin Topalov. It was our rapid chess match in Sofia, in Bulgaria, in 1998. So I won all 4 games of the match, but at least in one game I was so close to a disaster. Here is the position, and black is about to resign. So this is had Topalov played f3, just killing all the threats, the game would be over. But in the time trouble, it was rapid chess. He played rook takes d5. It's kind of a psychological stumbling block because knight is pinned. And when the piece is pinned, so you don't think that this piece can actively participate in the game. But the knight doesn't have to move. All it does, it controls e2 square. And of course I took on f1, and Topalov resigned because after king f1, queen h1 is mate, because this knight still controls the square, even being pinned. So it's just a very short collection of games, just to give you an idea that checkmate happens, even when you have top players playing against each other. But of course it happens all the time in the beginners games. So knowing how to checkmate your opponent is very important to advance to the next stage.
The following example was considered to be one of the best brilliancies from the 19th century, played in Hastings 1895. At the heart of the story lies two characters. Playing with the white pieces, we have a down on his luck, dejected former world champion Wilhelm Steinitz. And he is playing against Kurt von Bardeleben, a man who would soon, in the space of 17 years, go on to marry a staggering 10 times. And the dramatic storylines were not just limited to the players, because fireworks are about to explode on the board. The black king is in check and needs to protect the queen, and Steinitz understood it is now or never, because if he were to allow mass liquidations, then his attack on the king would dissipate. So that is why Steinitz played rook takes knight. Now, unfortunately for black, that rook cannot be taken. Queen takes rook is easily dealt with by rook takes rook, and white will emerge with some extra material, and neither is king takes rook satisfactory on account of queen to b4 check. And king to e8 is met by rook to e1, and after king to d8, knight to d6 is just crushing. That is why instead von Bardeleben decided to play a game of cat and mouse by sidestepping the king to f8. The point is that the queen on d7 is actually untouchable on account of rook takes rook with a back rank mate. But Steinitz had a clever little answer to that one. He played rook to f7 check, and after king to g8, rook to g7 check, king to h8, and rook takes pawn. There is a peculiar anecdote here that von Bardeleben, instead of resigning, simply got up, left the tournament hall and never came back to finish the game. And Steinitz was able to use that extra time on his clock to figure out exactly how to win. In fact, when the game was over, he declared to the audience, "It is now mate in 10. Or how does it work? Like this. After king to g8, rook to g7 check, continuing the pattern. And now after king to h8, white will play queen to h4. After king takes rook, queen h7 check. The checks just keep on coming. King to f8, queen to h8 check. The king is forced to move to e7, and now again queen to g7 check. King to d6 will lose to queen takes pawn. The longest way to lose is with king to e8, but it's not much fun as the king gets hounded until the end. With queen to g8, king to e7, and now after queen f7, king to d8, queen to f8, and now the queen is forced to step in between the attacker. And now we have the final flourish, knight to f7 check. The king takes its last step forward, and with queen to d6, we will have a splendid swallowtail checkmate. Hello and welcome to my stream. For those that don't know me, I'm Jovanka Houska. I'm an international master, also 9-time British woman chess champion, and I'm here just to have fun, just to chat, to solve puzzles, and also to take on your chess challenges. So just checking the chat here. Now, as you can see, those people who've been following a few of my streams, I'm in different settings, and that's because I'm actually recording from the UK, which is the first time in over 1.5 years that I've been back home, and I love it. But you're going to have to forgive me because I'm doing everything from my laptop, and I have quite an active mouse here, and we'll see how it goes. But I wanted to show you, actually I should say hello, hello, hi Gannon, hi Brian, Olive, and I'm actually keeping an eye on your chat on YouTube and Twitch. So I'm the best chess player in the world with a rating of 221. Gannon, that is an awesome rating. Actually, but hang on a second. Is it FIDE rating or English grading system? But yeah, Paul, welcome home. I've missed it a lot. Houska, you can pronounce it as you want. My sisters say Houska, I say Houska. Tomato, that's how it goes. And yeah, hello chat, and hello Sven. It's one of my favorite opponents. Actually, you're all my favorite opponents. I have a great time with you all. And hello to Ashish on YouTube. And yeah, I just thought I wanted to show you something super cool from the Kasparov chess. And I learned about it today, but it's so awesome. So I'm just going to dive into the home screen and you'll get to check out what I'm talking about. And thank you, Brian Olive. And and yes, I remember, Sven, you're very good at flagging me. This time you've even got a greater chance because, well, I'm on my laptop and not that fast. So I wanted to show you something super cool because, okay, there we have Gary Kasparov's masterclass, but we also have a new feature, which is the programs. And take a look at this. So you can actually train quite methodically with this program. And say, for instance, let's go on to the level and let's choose casual because, you know, warming up and everything. And there you can see that you can casually improve your tactics. And there you have all the lessons that will help you do that. You have Simon, Tanya, Sopiko, and Vidit guiding you through. And then Almira takes you through the basic endgame mates. You really need to know that. And then we have 3 people for the opening move. What was that? Newbies. And then this one, that is so cool. We're going to have to check that out later. And that's Approaching the Monster by Maurice. But first of all, I wanted to check out my own course, Spotting the Patterns. So shall we start? And hi, Robson Batista da Silva, Brazil. That's such a cool country. And David Hill, hello. And yeah, I'm following your chat. So I thought we'd kind of run through the Spotting the Patterns. I do quite like the cover, so let's go. And here we can see the chapters, the 5 chapters, and then you have the checkmate sorted by who delivers the checkmate. So here you got the Queen, the Tower's Revenge. Oh, I love it. The Murderous Bishop, Killer Infantry, and a Fatal Charge. Quite cool names, don't you agree? And yeah, hello. Who else is coming, joining? And I'm going to give you guys a choice. Which checkmate do you want to see? The Killer Infantry, the Tower's Revenge? Which one sounds most exotic to you? So, the Bishop. Yeah, the Murderous Bishop looks good. So far, 1 vote for the Bishop. Anyone else? The Killer. The Killer Infantry. Yeah, that was also my personal favorite as well. Okay, so okay, I can see a lot of people saying they want the Murderous Bishop. Okay, so let's go in. Let's click in and see what that Murderous Bishop is all about. So these checkmates, they're quite straightforward because it is casual level. So let's have a look over here and go down and let's try out the puzzles. And here we can see the first one. And you can see it's Balestra checkmate. So the Balestra, does anyone know? Brian Olive, thank you. And when it comes to the Balestra checkmate, it's basically like the Boden's checkmate with the raking bishops, except the Queen does the controlling of the squares and the Bishop does the checkmating, steals the show. And the name balestra comes from a fencing term. It's like a jump and then a lunge. So let's have a go. I mean, they're quite straightforward, and I can see that Sven and Shirov have already got the answers right. I find this checkmate to be quite difficult, actually, because there's so much empty space around the king. So yeah, we can get it now because it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, in general, it's one to watch out for. And let's have another go. Let's go puzzle 3, because let's not do them in any order. I like the randomness. Always, sorry, I will remember to repeat. Okay, so here we have another one. So we have another possible check. So checks, captures, attacks, those are the rules. So first move. Hey, oh, it's Anit. Hello to Anit, and hello to Akshay, and isn't this a mate? Yeah, it does look like a mate, but it's meant to be a murderous bishop. Oops. Oops, what's happening here? Queen F8. Yep, it is. Okay, well, it's a little bugbear. Let's do the next exercise, because we need to have the murderous bishop. And here we go again. And pawn march destroyer, afternoon. Yeah, is it afternoon? It's evening over here in England, so 7 p.m. I'm not used to being 1 hour behind. I'm fantastic. And now we have white to play, and now we need to find the best move. It would be the queen. Yeah, somehow it's like the fates have aligned and given us a queen and a murderous bishop. I like your Christmas plants in the background. Yeah, poinsettia. That's my mother. My mother has green fingers. I like to do my gardening outside, but she's really good with the house plants indoors. And so a good idea is to always start off with checks. And now, what do? I guess it kind of fits that it's a murderous bishop, because, you know, we have 2 guys raking across. The king's escape squares are dominated. So that only means one thing: we deliver checkmate with the queen. So just wanted to show you about these programs, and we do have to check out. Hang on, we have to go back to these programs. And I really, okay, I know still we're going to stay on casual. We have to check out the Maurice Ashley one, approaching the monster. Okay. Queen h5. Yep, you guys got it. A bishop takes e8. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Ernest. I'm moving too quickly. Okay, so let's do sack and mate. You know, checkmate's my thing. So let's have a check out on the puzzle. Okay, so here we go. Sack and mate. Sacrifices are always cool. I agree with you, Sven. Where is Garry Kasparov, creator of chess? He is creating chess. And did any of you catch his recaps, his game recaps when, during the match between Magnus Carlsen and Jan Nepomniachtchi? Because they were awesome, and it was so great to have his insights. And at one point I was thinking, oh, Garry, he's giving us some secret information. Okay, so here we go. We see the king does not have any escape routes, is blocked in. And we also see that the rooks are controlling the G line. So this is the target. And we also note that these 2 rooks, can anyone tell me what's the name of the checkmate that's in the air? You guys have all spotted it, but you've got to tell me the name. Okay, you've got to check them out. Pawn March Destroyer. There are the recaps with Matthew Sadler and Garry Kasparov. I was checking them out avidly on a daily basis. Okay, David and Levy, yeah. Ladder mate, yeah. Not the ladder mate, not that I know. David, did I say David? And yeah, there's not the ladder mate, but it's kind of, or maybe it could be the ladder mate, but I know 2 names. It would be the lawnmower, and you also have
the rook roller. So here it goes. I see a lot of people explaining and telling me the answer. It is queen takes pawn, check. The king is now out in the open, trapped by its own pawns, and its only escape routes on the H line, and that means we can give checkmate. And it's the takes, shakes, and bakes mate. Let me screenshot that one, Jackster the Pro on Twitch. That's a good one. I've got to memorize it. Takes, shakes, and bakes mate. I like that one. Okay, and let's do one more puzzle because this is just warming up. And here we go again. H2, H7, sacrifice. No, it's no sacrifice. It's just a simple word. And so now what you've got to do is you got to push through that pawn. But the king is in the way, and the king is such... Shake and bake. Man, chat is killing it with the jokes. I know. It's Christmas time. You know, this is the time to kill it with the cheesy jokes. And yep, you guys are all seeing it, that the king is a blockader. Kings are terrible blockaders. Why? Because you can just simply sacrifice a piece and you can just blast it out of the way. And you guys have all spotted it. Bishop takes pawn, and now that makes the queen. And now the checkmate. Well, we move the queen up to G3. And jeez, jokes. But it's Christmas time, and it's the season of giving and love and laughter. And, you know, I like my dad jokes, and I'm capable of doing them myself. So check out the programs. All of those of you who are members of Kasparov Chess, check it out. It is well worth seeing what everyone can do. And let's go back and let's check out the lessons library. And I thought that we could, well, now make a big jump and move on to advanced. I'm giving Greek gifts all day. Yeah, it is. And I thought that we could do one by Roman Edouard. Hang on, next a second. I thought we could warm up with some, and here it is, punishing bad coordination. And here we go, some nice ones. Merry Christmas. Yes, Godfather, Merry Christmas to you, to everyone. I'm really looking forward to it. And okay, Simon, I will be doing Simon next. So Inuran, no, we won't be doing we won't be doing any coverage of the Blitz and Rapid Championship. David is playing, so you guys can follow him play live. And also, we kind of needed a break. I think one of the rounds he didn't see. Okay. Really? Is that true? Well, here we have a kind of situation, punishing bad coordination. And here you can see the white pieces beautifully lined on the F line. And we have a white rook bearing down. Meanwhile, the black forces, well, let's get rid of that arrow. The black forces, they're kind of scattered. No purpose, no harmony. And yeah, what to do? And just reading the chat. Thank you, Milky. That's very nice of you. And so we have Anit suggesting, okay, bishop takes bishop. Is it from Anit? This was solved by Peter in the last stream. How is Jovanka pronounced? Jovanka? To be honest, Magic Master Harkness, I'm not. The name is Serbian, and I'm not Serbian, so I don't quite know how it should be pronounced. But I have heard it pronounced correctly, and it's very nice. But I pronounce it in an English way. It is what it is. Don't hate me for not knowing how my own name should be pronounced. Okay, so who has seen this puzzle before? Thank you for the heads up that this particular subject was covered by Peter in the last stream. Ivanka, let's go. Not me. Okay, so Anit hasn't seen it. Has anyone else seen it? No? Okay. Except for one thing. Yeah. Nazit, yes. Yes, that is the story, Nazit. You have it. You have it in one. Basically, when I was born, my parents wanted a name to match my surname, which is Czech. And they were presented with some Serbian names because the lady upstairs was from Serbia. And they went, that one. And she said, that's a good choice. Wife of Tito. And they went, oh, fantastic. Okay, so we have some suggestions. So we have bishop takes bishop, that's one suggestion. We have queen takes queen, another suggestion. But okay, so first of all, what we need to do is we always need to scout the territory. And the scout territory kind of looks at, first of all, white's threats are queen takes pawn. If these bishops were removed from the board, queen takes pawn would be deadly. And the next thing we notice is that, take a look at this bishop on e6. It's one person is attacking it, the bishop is attacking it, the rook is attacking it, and it has two defenders. Now, I want you to put on a bad Russian accent and just go tactical weakness. Because when this is, oh, hang on, three pieces defending it. I forgot about the rook on h6. So it is a little bit of a tactical weakness because the rook is not stable. So those are the things you need to know. So rook and queen aligning on f7, and this bishop on e6, bad Russian accent, bishop tactical weakness. I forgot about Dre. Yeah, or we can say like Dre. Okay, so we have, do you think, no, he's really cool. I can tell you, Magnus is like the coolest war champion ever. And he's such a nice guy, really, really down to earth. You can easily have a chat with him. And yeah, he's great. So first things, if we go queen takes queen, yeah, we have some candidate moves. I see people are suggesting. We have queen takes queen, we have bishop takes bishop, and we have g5, a nice desperado. So which one do we want to analyze first? So if we analyze queen takes queen, pawn takes queen, and then g5, what's going to happen there? Well, he's great. He's great. He's really, and he does fantastic streams, I have to say. They're very entertaining. And he's so focused on chess. When he plays, he gives 100%. And that's something that I think everyone can learn from. Even if you have a bad position or whatever, give 100%. And you actually physically can see them when they play live, how much energy they're actually consuming. You see their brain kind of working, and they're putting 1000% into that position, whether it's the opening, whether it's a boring position, or, you know, they're not wandering around. They're just like concentration. And he was that, it doesn't surprise me. He has this kind of woo-woo effect, doesn't he? And I also saw that people were not checkmating against him, but he does. Bishop takes bishop first. So we have bishop takes bishop first. That will force queen takes queen. And so if we do, what's going to happen in the situation of the queen takes queen, pawn takes queen, and we try to go pawn on? How does that work out? Can you do is there problems or no problems? Or can you just simply be a little bit more accurate? Oh, okay, I can see Shirov is, that's a little bit of a tongue twister. Shirov. I'll get there. And yeah, he's suggesting g5, bishop takes bishop first. Bishop takes bishop first, we can kind of say no to that one, because after queen takes queen, because that's forced, because queen takes pawn check was threatened, then yeah, then the kind of initiative goes away. But this is a great move, g5. Yeah, Anit, I agree with you. Vishy Anand is a superstar. And black has played very quickly queen takes queen, but just to go run through queen takes pawn isn't actually possible, because now we can go queen, bishop takes bishop, and there's no queen takes queen in the air. So that's why, oops, that's why queen takes queen was played. No choice but to play that. And now we have tactical weakness in the air, and we solved. I agree. I agree. Very, very good. This is so cool that I can see everyone's chat from YouTube and Twitch. I'm not so technical here. So some of you have said that you've seen these puzzles before. So do we want to move on to another advance, and maybe we could look at Simon Williams, or shall we just push on with puzzle 2 and puzzle 3, which is all about punishing bad coordination? It is a nice one. It is very, very nice. You have to remember, scout the territory. So I need a vote. Very true, Anit. Absolutely true. But the thing is, there's the hype. And we can we go on to Sven. You always make me laugh. You have the fool's mate and the scholar's mate. Yeah, unfortunately, there are no exercises for that one. There's just lessons. One big final lesson, and yeah. Okay, so here we have another one, and I see that Shri Shriov, you're very quick. And you're spotting all the things. Now, let's take a look at what scattered forces. The rook is here. The queen is on c3. The knight, bishop, no one is working together. And this king is super exposed. And one thing that you notice about this king is it's controlled. The only square it can go to is g1. But if it goes to g1, knight e2 would be a terrible fork. And so all we need to do is deliver check, because the white king unprotected and bad things happen. Yeah, knight h3 it would be a strong candidate move, but on the other hand, I would not necessarily think about that move first, primarily because the knight then gets in the way of the rook. So in principle, I would be looking at moves that kind of move forward but doesn't impede the other piece. So I would be looking actually more at like lines like rook h3, and then dropping, or maybe moving the queen across to a6 in order just to control the whole board, or even queen going back to h8. Those are the kind of moves that I would be thinking about if there were no tactical solution. But you have to be vigilant. And remember, you got to use coordination. You've got to make sure that your pieces don't block each other's potential. And so this is the correct answer. And then after queen checks, there you go. King has been driven to g1. Could have run to g3. Would have been the same problem. The knight comes in to e2. And after knight takes queen, we won. We won the queen. And there's no fortress in sight because these pieces are still incredibly loose. Okay, final puzzle in this section. And here we go again. And now we have to punish bad coordination. But if white is a black grandmaster, nope, actually that's not true. There are some positions where even Magnus Carlsen, provided he's not flagging you because you have like 10 seconds left on the clock, even he will lose the game because there's just no hope. There's no way that white can set up a good defense. And the plans are very, very simple, that anyone can just win the position. And in this particular position, we scout the territory again and we see, woohoo, the rook is opposite the queen. But there are some tactical issues in the sense that if you go pawn takes pawn first, well, then you'd have to calculate rook takes rook. And then the white rook can't maintain this pressure against the rook because it would be loose. And so you'd have to play rook takes rook. And suddenly, well, we'll have to calculate what happens next. We won the queen. Yeah, that's true, Ashish. We won the queen. I love winning my opponent's pieces. It's one of the best things in the world. And I don't like getting checkmated. The irony of it all. I did a checkmating course and then I end up playing my first tournament of 2021 and I get checkmated. My king gets trapped and I'm careless with him. Okay, so we have pawn takes pawn, option 1. We have rook takes rook, option 2. And let's work through them. Let's calculate. I think if there's one thing that everybody can improve on, it's calculation. And then at the end of it, it's not just about calculation, you also got to do your assessments. So the first move, as Anish says, did I say Anish? Sorry, Anit. You have to calculate pawn takes pawn. So rook takes rook, rook takes rook, and then what's going to happen? The pawn sits on c6 and will attack the queen, the bishop and the queen. Okay, very good. What else do we notice? When the rook is sitting on f1 and this bishop is sitting on c6. Do we notice anything fancy? Even, oh, okay. Yeah, it's confusing. Anish, Anit, but it's quite cool. It's quite cool that you have a very similar name. What do we notice? So this is one thing that we know, that can we all visualize the position that I have in my head? The bishop sits on c6, the white rook sits on f1, the black rook has left the board, and the white rook on d1 no longer anywhere. And what do we notice? We notice that rook f1, bishop c6, queen f3. Shri Shirov, you are on fire. And what we notice is that the king is in a familiar pattern of the back rank mate. And one rook is there on e8 defending. One rook is attacking this f8 square. And again, we put on our dodgy Russian accents and we go, yeah, tactical weakness. And how can we approve of that? Well, we have to look at all the pieces, and this queen can swing across to f3, at whereupon she will threaten queen to f8, and she will also threaten this bishop on c6. So that is the right answer. Okay, and yeah, we're just going to play through these moves. And now this is the star move. Queen goes to f3, and now black's forced to defend against checkmate because that's going to end the game. But bishop takes bishop is a killer blow. And that was nice. Yeah, Shirov's Fire on the Board. It's a great, great book. And he's a great player. And you guys were super good. So we're going to level up. So we were on advanced. Now we're going to move on to expert. And I thought that we could do some of my back rank mates. Here you go. We've leveled up to very hard ones, and let's see, how's it go? An army and vacation. And here we go, back rank mate alert. So just reading a question from Hussein. I don't have an opening. Okay, so Hussein asks me what kind of opening. I would say, as someone who likes the opening but is not like a massive opening nerd, I would say don't pick those sharp openings. Well, first of all, actually scrap that. First of all, you've got to know your style. Do you like sharp positions? Do you like closed positions? Do you like, what are you good at? And if you've established those questions, the answers to those questions, then you should choose your opening. If you like sharp positions, then I would typically recommend that you kind of go for and you don't have so much time to study openings, then I would go for those kind of, they're sound but tricky openings. If you like your solid openings, then definitely go for a London system. Catalan is also very solid at the same time. I would even try to look at Magnus's last game, sorry, not his last game, his game in 6, where he played a Catalan but delayed the c4 push. That kind of was very, very interesting. And it was really, he got an advantage as well. He just didn't quite handle it in quite the right way. And you can cut out a lot of opening lines by being creative. You like opening positions. If you like open positions, then I would recommend that you open with 1e4. not 1d4. London is good if you don't again have much time, or you're looking for something that you can just play again and again. So for instance, you're playing online chess 3 minutes, then it's okay to have a repertoire system that is full of tricks and traps. The London system can be very dangerous. Magnus plays it, and Jovanka plays it very creatively. So lots and lots of grandmasters play it in a very accessible way. Yeah, and when it comes to losing, we all lose. We all lose, we win, and we all draw. So I don't be hung up on losing. Just say, okay, I'm going to get better. I'm going to analyze where I went wrong, and just keep going. Have fun. That's the most important thing. Is there an opening Magnus doesn't play? I have to say, he seems to play everything, and he seems to know everything as well. I mean, I saw a documentary of him, and I've seen video clips of him as a kid, and he was always studying chess. And David's tested his chess memory, and it was incredible. And okay, now here we have a back rank mate. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, a bit of a pile up on the E line, and well, we recognize this pawn structure. The king has got no breathing square, or Luft, as lots of people like to say. And if we manage to get a rook to the E8 square, checkmate. Okay, so you guys are all very good at spotting those crazy killer blows, and it is to give everything up. And after rook takes rook, checkmate. Let's run through that one again, because that was a bit like a spot of fireworks. Okay, so the queen just dashes down there. The rook forced to take, and here you go. No price is too high for the scalp of a king. And the knight comes, it gives itself check. Rook takes rook, and the king tries to run. Says, no, sir. So that's kind of cool. We've seen this puzzle before, Anit. I think it's pretty famous. And here we have another one. And here we have the same issue. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And this bishop protecting the queen. One defender, one attacker. Tactical weakness. And king takes juicer. The answer is no. We won't be commentating on the World Rapid and Blitz. David will be playing, and it's over Christmas time and New Year's, and I haven't been to see my family. Well, I haven't seen my family for over 1 year, so, well, there was just no way that I could play. But another time, I think. Overloaded bishop. Yep, overloaded bishop. No, I won't be playing. But I will be playing in this tournament that happens at the end of January, which is called the Battle of the Sexes. And that was kind of cool because it's 10 women, 10 men, and the average is really even. And yeah, it's going to be exciting, actually, because I've lost lots of rating points. I'm actually the lowest rated person there. But it doesn't matter because, you know, a long time ago, I dropped 100 rating points, and I don't know what happened there. It was like some blip in the matrix. And then I kind of gained 100 rating points back, and I became an international master. So I'm not really worried about losing rating points. It's about learning. Yep. I deserve a Christmas at home. Everyone deserves a Christmas at home. And Anit is suggesting rook to d8. He says this bishop on f6 is overloaded. And he's right. He is right. This guy, this lady, tactical weakness, and this mating pattern. And if you add an A, yeah, it's true. So here you go, rook to d8. Okay, but black has defended. So this was the whole point. The rook came to f8. So any answers to this? Oh, hang on a second. Ivansel says rook takes rook, bishop to 6. Hang on, that was really, then queen takes, okay, and then bishop e5. Oh, very, very nice. So Ivansel says rook takes rook, king takes it's now the king is totally, I was going to say naked. Is that inappropriate to say? It's got no cover. It's got no clothes on. And it's got nothing to protect itself. And this is why Vansel suggests bishop d6 check. And now queen takes queen, bishop takes. And now we need to get rid of this bishop. And we need to stop this bishop coming back to the defensive role of f6. And then that's why we can go here. And that's it. Checkmate. And yeah, he had a bishop on b2. And so, yeah, it's a pattern that's so common, actually. And I know when Bobby Fischer did this book about teaching chess, he basically spent all of it kind of telling about the back rank mate. It's a very, very common mating pattern. And here we go. Here's a new pattern. How can you prepare for fatigue in a tournament? Asked Logic Guru 1987. Now that is a good question. And first of all, I would make sure that your nutrition is up to scratch. So I would not be binging on sugar. Instead, I would be looking at foods like nuts, bananas, every chess player's favorite. And I would also be looking at ways to motivate yourself, and also I would say control your breathing, because there are ways to breathe where you can energize yourself, and there are also ways to breathe where you can relax yourself. And this is something that you can use to help deal with fatigue. And I would also say, if you're playing late in the evening, take a nap at midday or something, and just rest and recover. If you're playing 2 games in a day and they're kind of classical games, then I would say that, again, you take a nap. But also it's very good to kind of, I'm quite a big fan of meditating. Whenever I meditate for 5-10 minutes, I feel so much energy afterwards that I forget, why don't I do it more regularly? Sleep is very important. And when it comes to sleeping, I'm not a scientist, but just do everything you can to maximize your sleep. I know some chess players, they wake up like 2 hours before the round starts. If that works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, then just develop a routine. The body loves having a kind of pattern. Same time it goes to sleep, same food. It's a bit boring like that. So, okay, any solutions to our puzzle? So the king goes to g8. No way out for the king here. And we also have king standing on an open diagonal, which is always bad news. So, and queen d5, and the queen will die. Yep, the queen does die if you play that. So we have, and I saw a suggestion from Anit and Ivansel, which is to give a check. And then queen here. Okay, so let's check is the first move to calculate, and it is the good move. And now the fancy move that both Ivansel and I think Anit had, yes, but forgive me if I'm wrong. Oh, I have my iPad there and my computer there, so sometimes I was a bit too eager with the iPad there and I minimized you. Sorry. And the fancy move that both these players had in mind was to play queen to d5, and the whole point after queen to d5, knight takes queen. Can't go for that because of rook takes queen, checkmate. And now the bishop comes out to a6. So this is a really fancy move. The idea being that after bishop takes bishop, maybe now you can go knight takes queen. What do we think? I'm not scientific. No, I have no basis. I have no experience in science whatsoever. But I do listen to some podcasts, so I'm kind of like an armchair expert. But I recommend that, there's lots of tips. And I do like to nap. There you go. Okay, so rook takes b6 is more explosive than c4. Oh, hang on a second. Rook takes f6. Oh, rook takes f6. Wow. So the idea of rook takes f6 What's going to happen after pawn? Oh, gosh, that is beautiful. So we have a suggestion from chat, which is like rook takes knight. Very, very fancy. And the whole idea is that after pawn takes rook, we go queen takes rook. Round of applause. And then the whole idea is after queen takes queen, we have bishop takes pawn, and that would be a double bishop mate because the king is stuck, trapped in by its own pawn on h7. Oh dear. And the one line we have to work out, what will happen after bishop takes bishop? Well, we just go rook takes queen. So that's it. Nice. And then what did happen next? Oh, solved. Oh, you should allow pawn takes rook, and then we can finish the puzzle. Okay, very good. I love that one. Okay, so another one on the back ranks, or the bank rank mate, as all kids say when they first learn. I love that. I love how everyone makes the kind of like the same mistake. That was a really lovely puzzle. That was beautiful. Okay, so here we have white's play. Can we find the best move? Now, the first move that one thinks about is queen takes queen. What about those captures? And after rook takes queen, I'm going to get there before you guys, and then the bishop will come to a3, pin, and win. That's option number one. But then you'd have to work out, you'd have to assess what it's like after the exchange. But what else can we do? Can we do something better? So that's not option number one. Anything else? Yep. Hussein, you have a good suggestion. Knight coming to h6, giving check to the king. And once the king moves, we'll move to h8, the only move to play. What happens next? And there the king has been truly lodged into the corner. And then we have to follow on with the checks. And checkmate and to dead. Oh, yes. So how do we get to checkmate? Queen d6. Queen d6 is possible. Queen takes d6, and then after rook takes d6, what is the big finale? Knight h6 takes the queen, knight f7. Yep, that is also one move. And can we be flash about it? Can we go knight takes pawn first? And then after rook takes, and then we take this? Could be, could be. Let's have a go. Well, knight h6, definitely the one. And then now we have a vote. Queen takes queen or knight takes pawn. Shri Shirov says knight takes pawn. Hussein says knight takes pawn. Anyone else? Ivansor is, oh, okay, so wow, we have a 2600 on Lichess. Wow, peak 2750. Amazing, incredible. Knight takes, sorry, I overruled everyone. Knight f7, yes. And then after queen takes queen, we get our beloved back rank mate. And okay, so that was last, we'll do the last back rank mate because we were a bit on a roll. And here we go. Here we go. Here's the pattern. Vulnerable king on g8. Rook would love to be on e8, giving checkmate. Yeah, Logic Guru is telling us he played their first tournament, and it is chess, and they were shocked at finding out how mentally and physically tired they were, and how much it affected the quality of the play. Yeah, you have to. It is tiring to play chess. I really do recommend just good nutrition and good sleep, and if you can, have some power naps, because chess is exhausting, and you have to be in your A game. And there are many ways you can motivate yourself. You can also motivate yourself by positive self-talk. Lots of players do that. You can also do, now bear with me chat, and you might think a bit odd, but sometimes I've been discussing with players and they have said it works. It's like you do these power poses like this. You stand there like this, for 1 minute, and you feel awesome. And then I would really recommend that everyone kind of, works a little bit on their breath, because I recently was talking to an expert and they were saying it's very difficult to control the mind, but if you control your breath work, then the body has to behave. The body has no choice. So, okay, and here we go. I told Rook wants to get to E8, and now everyone is suggesting knight comes to D4. Good. I lose very much with Sicilian, and when I saw your games with Caro, I was playing it. Yeah. Southern Chris, I have to tell you, someone once did a power pose to one of my teammates in England. She was really off put by that. She did not enjoy that at all. She was like, what to do? Move the horsey. Yes, but where to move the horsey, Lorraine? You need to give specific instructions. So you need to say, hey, horsey, move yourself to take the queen, move yourself to take the knight, because pieces are smart, but pieces are also really dumb. You need to tell them what to do. So the first move to calculate is obviously knight takes queen. That's the first move. Knight takes queen, and then what's going to happen after bishop takes queen? Rook takes rook, bishop takes rook. Do we have an advantage? Maybe, maybe not. And then my pieces tell me what to do. Now you have you have to tell your pieces. You have to talk to them, and you have to give them specific instructions, because I always kind of, in my mind, when I'm learning chess or I'm teaching chess, the piece is a bit daft. They go, yeah, we're going to attack, but where? But where? No one's kind of, and I kind of visualize them like Homer Simpson. Okay, too much information. I should not be telling you these things. Queen takes bishop. Queen takes bishop would be nice, but there was a rook takes rook, and yeah. So that's a little bit of a problem. What to do? I'm bad with notations. That's okay. That's okay. I'm also bad with notation. A lot of people are. Queen d2. Someone is suggesting queen to d2, which is a very neat move. We do like those flashy combinations, because the whole point is that after rook takes queen, if the queen drops back to d2, rook cannot take the queen, because now this rook is no longer pinned to the king, and the rook can dash up to the e8 square and give the beloved checkmate on the back row. Take the juicer. Hi, Dad, 76. How are you? And I was going to say, Sven was telling, when I played against my dad, I learned how to play the Sicilian. I was excited to play that against my dad, and I played b5 instead of c5. Oh. One of my friends accidentally played the fool's mate, and he was so upset. He was like, and he was quite strong as well. So queen d2, fantastic move. So rook takes rook. We have to go queen takes rook. And now, what can we do? Last fancy move of the game. Queen d2, queen d3. So we have a suggestion for queen d2, queen d3. The flashiness continues. Well, what's the answer to queen to d3? So we do have some moves. So suggestion number one is simply to capture the rook. That's number one, because after queen takes queen, rook takes queen, and bishop takes rook, the queen is no longer protected. So that would be a nice kind of refutation of queen d3, but I like the essence of it. Okay, so hang on. Last flashy move, and we play So if we play queen takes queen, black got away with it. But we still have this idea of queen e8 in the air. This poor king, he's never going to hear the end of it. And yeah, we can play knight takes f3. And this is the whole point. The knight can come back and defend the queen. And Good books. That's a good question from Godfather. So it depends on your level. If you're just starting out and, well, this is a bit of an old book, but I really, really loved it. I mean, it was the first book I read from the start to the finish, and that was like a game like Chess for Tigers. It's such a fun book to read. If you're quite strong, maybe about 1800, looking to get to 2200, I would recommend any book by Jakob Aagaard. They're very technical, lots of puzzles. And I also would recommend any book by Silman. Soltis has a very nice book. It's about the wisest things ever said about chess. And also, of course, I can't forget the Galfand books. There's so many good books. And most of it's just about wanting to pick up that book and just finish it. And there's a great one just now. It's by New in Chess. It's about chess improving. It's the first practical workbook for people who are working, and a really fantastic book. I can remember what it's called. I can remember the author, Kuja Lesevic, I think. But that's a fantastic book. My System, it's a good book. It's quite dry, and most of the books are in old-fashioned notation, like pawn to king 4, pawn to king 5, knight king bishop 3, knight queen bishop through 6. That kind of notation. And if you can get your head around that, great. If you can't, it's not the book for you. Are books still that preferred now that we have online content? To be honest, I like books that are kind of exercise books, where you sit down with a book and you just work through these exercises. The book that I'm currently reading is The Silicon Road to Chess Improvement, which is a book by Matthew Sadler. It's a great book. He talks about how he trains using computers, and I'm in chapter 3, so I've just started it. I started it yesterday. And he says, you pick up your phone and you play one serious game with a stockfish, and it will flatten you. And I make no joke about that. It will really crush you. But the whole goal of it is just to kind of go through your openings and study where you went wrong and how the computer punished you. And then it kind of also recommends another way is to use Leela 0 at a very low, it's just use Leela 0, but it's moving very quickly. So it will miss things. So it will miss all the tactical. And this will force you to kind of hone your opening preparation, your tactical skills, and also make sure that you win those 1 positions. Okay, so yeah, this is my laptop. I'm at home in the UK, so different angle. This is not I'm a bit out of my comfort zone, let's say like that. So, okay. I think I will remove my do not disturb sign, and I will allow for challenges. And 7 Deadly Chess Sins, Lorraine, yep, absolutely. And I recommend that book. Any book by Jonathan Ralston is fantastic. No, I'm not in Bergen. I am home. So here we go. I will be taking on challenges, Ericsson. Unfortunately, I agree with you. It's very sad. I got a stamp on for the first time in my passport. How can you challenge me? So basically, you have to go onto kasparovchess.com. If you have an account, great. If you don't have an account, you have to create one. And then you have to find the little hat. That's me. And once you find me, and once I finish this game, you can challenge me. So I'm taking on games at 3 minutes, 3 minutes plus 2 seconds, 5 minutes. No 1 minute, please, and nothing longer than 5 minutes because it's just too long. And yeah, and it doesn't matter if I'm black or if you're white. It doesn't matter. It can be also chess 960. We can play that. I have no problems. It's just fun. And I will be talking the whole time. So here I need to guard against the d5 pawn. Yep. What's the story behind the little hat? Okay, well, the story behind the little hat is actually because I joined Twitter many, many moons ago, and I wasn't sure whether anyone was using their name or not. And so I was sitting actually in South Africa with my friend in a restaurant, and we were like, we're not sure. And I was actually with Stuart Conquest, and we're like, let's not use our real names. And so he's like, I'm going to be Stu the Fox. And I thought about it, and I was like, actually, I live in this place called Lillehatton. I don't anymore, but I used to. And I was like, there you go, Lillehatton, the little hat. And that's how that one came about. Let's get rid of the dark square bishops. It's always a good idea in the closed Sicilian to weaken your opponent's king. This is my general rule in life. Get rid of those dark square bishops. So yeah, it was 2013 in Port Elizabeth, Commonwealth champion. Where was that place named Lillehatton? It was in Bergen. I think hat actually means like a hill, and it was like the little part of a hill, I think. Don't quote me, I'm not Norwegian. Sounds like no Norwegian. No, it is Bergen. And yeah, is it? Yeah, we're still playing. We're good. Okay, so now I'm going to take that bishop off the board. And now I'm going to do something which, it's okay, but it wasn't the best move. Sometimes I don't concentrate and I make blunders. Okay, how to do this? How to fix my mess? Because when I move my knight, something bad is going to happen to my king. And that's not... If I go back, yeah, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back, and then I think I get away with it, but it's calculations. How's my sound? How's my Afrikaans? Not good. I don't know a single word. Sorry, Jesse. Forwards ever, backwards never. Yeah, in this case, I was thinking I might have to go back because I made a bit of a mistake. I wasn't paying attention, and this is the issue. I got a bit careless. So knight takes knight is the thing I need to calculate. Knight takes knight. Bishop takes bishop, knight here. Hopefully I can survive this. Oh well, the big thing though is that at least I opened the H line. The end. Lekker. Lekker. Yes, lekker is beautiful, right? Aha. Let's not damage my pawn structure anymore. Okay, so this is good. And now we have a bad bishop, that's mine, against a good knight. Good knight, and it's good knight from me. Okay, so now let's drop the queen back. I don't want this queen coming to the G5 square. And let's not allow the knight coming to G3. And okay, well, consequences. I have a rook that can go to the H1 line, and woohoo, dream of an attack. And Zorom, hello. How have I been? I've been very good. I'm still buzzing actually from commentating on the World Championship match, because that was such an incredible experience to watch this match and just to kind of see how two players play like mind games with each other. Oh, it was so brilliant. And I was really surprised to see what happened to Pomniachtchi. Did anyone else expect that to happen, that he would just crumble after the game 6? you know, Magnus warned us, and he was doing some trash talking beforehand, saying, yeah, you know, if you hit him in the face, he will just collapse. Hit him in the face. I don't mean literally, but, you know, he's just going to collapse once I knock him out. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I think he would have worked super hard. And Garry Kasparov said it. Lots of people said, you know, emotional player, incredibly strong. When he's good, he's really good. He will beat Magnus. When he's bad, he's really bad. I was like, no, but he's working so hard with his chess. And then he just collapsed, and that was very sad. Oh, what happened there? I lost. Was I talking and not just, oh well. Oh dear, I was talking too much and I lost. Ah, interesting. sometimes, yeah, well, there you go. Focus on just the one thing. That's what my mother always told me. Focus on one thing. Don't try to multitask. Don't be distracted. And there you go. So now I will pay a bit more attention to the chess. Can I play c4 in the next game? Okay, for you, Anit, I will do that. I will play c4 and see what happens. First, I'm going to control this g5 square, but I'm not sure I will veer away from my Caro-Kann. That might be one step too far. You snooze. You snooze, you lose. Clearly. Oh, how shocking. Interesting. Okay. And okay, so now, I need a castle. The king is safe-ish. I have a fortress-ish. Should I be putting pressure on the pawns? I get my king to safety. Always a good sign. Okay, right. Greed is good. I'm going to hit here and here. Okay, now. And then I'm going to take that. Yeah. And I'm going to pay attention to my time. I sometimes call the Caro-Kann. Yeah. It's a hardcore opening. I mean, I really like it, but at times it can be very unpleasant when you're facing an opponent who just takes the space and doesn't allow you a chance. That can be hard. But now you have an open line and I don't like that. So, you know, I want to fight for that too. The Spanish to change the name of the Scandinavian to Scandimala, Scandibad. I didn't know that actually. Okay, now before I make, let's have a look. And I'm going to pre-move that. And look at that. We both have back rank issues. Oh, the irony of it all. But okay, so I will make some lift just to be safe. Oh, 1 minute 25. Okay, so I don't have so much time. And now my queen, oh, it's fine, it's fine. It's all good. I hate the Caro-Kann from the white side. Black seems to equalize easily. It's a very solid opening. It's solid, and at the same time, the problem with the Caro-Kann for the players of the white side is that once you equalize, you equalized, and it's very natural play. That's why I like it. And white has to be pretty precise. But, you know, when white plays very accurately and doesn't allow you the c5 or the f6 pawn breaks, Well, it can be a struggle, and you can be left at times thinking, why do I not have e4, e5 in my repertoire? I mean, I played against Pete Spidler once, and I noticed that he was what I call a space monster, and someone who just adores playing with lots and lots of space. And I was like, oh, he's the perfect opponent for playing e4, e5. But I couldn't, so I only played the Caro, and of course, he just played the advanced system, and the advanced system is all about, okay. And then, okay, now I have to take it, but I don't want. And now let's go here. Let's push through this pawn, and oh, I can't be bad to put a pawn on the second row. And oh, we've only got 23 seconds. Okay, play quickly. Huh? Okay, so no rematch. Okay, so also no rematches. So sorry. Okay, so Carmelite. I'm playing Carmelite 1197. So the cover is, I don't know, hang on a second. I promised C4. So yeah, sorry, I got just, is Firouzja the best Caro-Kann player? Firouzja is an awesome player. The person who I would say is really good at the Caro-Kann is Artemiev. And I would also say David is pretty good at the Caro-Kann as well. Artemiev is really fantastic. He comes up with a lot of novel ideas, but he has one great skill though. He's very, very patient. And sometimes he accepts very dubious positions. Let's play d6. And just so that, who else? Draw me like one of your French defenses. I never get a challenge. Yeah, I do it on a bit on a, I do accept the challenges on a first come, first served basis, and it's my move. Okay, it's my move. And now we're going to go here. We're going to go for the old plan of going A3 and B4 at the right time. Or I could be even boring. Okay, so he gave me that square. Very good. Now I will switch plans. I will do H3. You're not going to get to G4. And maybe I'm hoping that you've made a big concession in allowing me this B5 square, but you might not have done. Okay, now if you move a queen to C8, I will go King H2, defend my weak spots. What's the most hated opening against E4? It depends on your style. When I played E4, I didn't like the Sicilian. I loved playing against the French. Oh, hang on a second. No, I didn't like the French. I never liked the French too much because it's like I never seemed to get anything out of it. And I even considered playing the French with the black pieces, but I didn't like them. It seemed to me too much suffering, and I couldn't handle my light square bishop behind the pawns. But so Sicilian and French I didn't like. The rest of them didn't mind at all. But other people hate like playing against the Caro-Kann, and maybe they hate these kind of like the perk systems or the modern. If I play against you and if I'm white, can you play E5? Okay, I will play E5. Deal. Sicilian is the most liked. I like it when they play E4, C5. Yeah, I mean, in the UK, they have all sorts of systems. Like I have the 150 attack. They had the Grand Prix, no, not the 150, the Grand Prix attack. They also had all sorts of tricks up their sleeve. So yeah, I can see why lots of people like to play the Sicilian. C3 Sicilian is also very popular in the UK. Why you skipped my question? As a beginner, should I work on opening or endgames first? I would say do most of your work on endgames, just so that you can get to grips with the concept of harmony and how to read signs in the position. Because if you master the endgames, then you're able to just steer the game into certain paths that are known, that have been played before. Meanwhile, if you just focus on the openings, then you sometimes get a bit bogged down with things. So that's how I would approach it. However, you do need to know your openings. So don't just ignore opening. Oh, pick up the knight, not the bishop. Now I've given a square. That was not very wise. And also one thing I would recommend in the middle games is do you guys understand stingy? Stingy means be careful, be mean. Be mean with giving your opponent squares. Don't do it. Think of them as money. No, you don't want to give your opponent any money. And I just gave my opponent a fantastic square on d4. That was about £5. Okay, so I'm going to give myself a good pawn in the endgame. But I have no plan at the minute, apart from something. Okay, so I think I'm going to keep my knights on the board because my knight might challenge his knight or their knight. Okay, and then let's push forward with my pawns, control some squares. I have to protect my endgame asset on h6. Do I know Amaury Guichon? He's a pastry chef. No, I don't. Sorry, Anit. Rook h8. Yeah, they played rook h8 to stop me playing pawn takes pawn, but I've locked out their rook. And okay, wait 1 second. Lots of talking and not playing. That makes me vulnerable to losses on time. What do I want to do? Okay, so if you don't see a plan, just improve your position. And does he want to play that? No, he doesn't. So calm and steady wins the race. And then I'm going to go rook to f1 and then open up. It's my favorite thing in the world, to open up lines. Okay, he's a genius. I love watching his pastry stuff. Okay, thanks for the tip, Amaury Guichon. Oh, are you trapped? I think you are. That's unusual. Trapped by his rook, trapped by the queen, the king. Oh dear. And yeah, you're going to have to sell your knight. No, yeah, you should sell your knight. And then you could live with your queen on d4. And now we are going to just put it in the bank. Go here. Here. And now I think his only chance is to run. Okay, so, okay, and oh, sorry, so, sorry, I hit the close button by accident. I'm very, very sorry, Sven. I was about to accept you. Okay, well, now we have a 5-minute game against Whoop 1234. Watch School of Chocolate on Netflix. I don't have Netflix anymore. I said no to Netflix. Yes, they did. Okay, and here we go. So this is something that sometimes I'm thinking, okay, so now I'm going to play knight c6. It's a very, very solid system, the exchange, and it's very popular these days. Oh, now no exchange. Now we're into the wild territory of the panov. And now, what am I going to do? Which line am I going to play? Let's play g6. It was a coup. Yeah, no Netflix, no. Yeah, I don't have. I said goodbye to Netflix. I said goodbye to HBO. I said hello, masterclass. I said hello, chess lessons. We'll see how that works out. But we did say hello to Disney Plus, and I have lots of chess videos to watch on Kasparov Chess. I've watched 3/4 of the Kasparov masterclasses. So now I need to push on, and oh, it's my move again. Okay, stop talking, Yovi, and start playing. Sorry. Yeah, Kasparov Chess is my Netflix. Absolutely. It's okay. So now let's start taking control, and let's pin. And I have my bishop on the g7 square, which is like the most beautiful diagonal ever. Okay, now let's try and trade off pieces. You swap off pieces, it really works very nicely in the exchange. No, not in the exchange, but in the isolated queen's pawn positions. Disney, do I like Moana? I don't know. Who is Moana? It's a kids one, isn't it? I might have seen it. Don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I try to. No, don't do that. Don't. Can't recommend that, Sven. Okay, so now bishop takes bishop, and now what's the thing? This is where Nimzovich comes into play. So basically, you control. You restrain it, you destroy it. Okay, so we control. I've got my eye on this d5 square, and then I'm going to pile up every single piece I have. And there's going to feel the might on this d4 pawn. It's going to be so sorry it ever existed. No, anyway, try to watch what are my favorite English movies. I have loads of different movies that I like. When I need some comedy, I like to watch Life of Brian. I think it's a great film. Some people disagree and say the other one is better, The Knights of Ni. I can't remember what it's called. They say that one's better, but I disagree. I think Life of Brian is the best one from Monty Python. And I also quite like 10 Things I Hate About You. That's a good one. Romeo and Juliet is good. What else is good? I also quite like Apocalypto, but that's not an English one. That's set in the rainforest. That's just such a beautiful movie. And at the minute, I started watching this TV series, and I just think it's so beautifully done. It's a cartoon series, and it's only 2 episodes, and it's by Roald Dahl. And it's a Norwegian version of it, which is it's called Revolting Rhymes and Vile Verses. And it just takes those traditional story tales and kind of gives them alternate endings. And the voice acting in the Norwegian one is just amazing. Life of Brian, the meaning of life, not the meaning of life, the one with Knights of Ni. I can't remember. But it has some quite funny moments, the Knights of Ni, but it's not called the Knights of Ni. Here's the voice actor, Dennis Storhøy, I want to say. He's just fantastic, and I recommend that anyone who speaks Norwegian goes onto NRK and watches this TV series. Ramperim is called. Ramperim Villares. And the acting is great. Dennis Storhøy, yeah. NFTs. No, NFTs is the next big thing. Everyone is doing NFTs. And I must admit, I got my first one, NFT. I got the moment where Levon Aronian won the gold money Asian Rapid, I want to say. And I really, really, really want the chessboard because the chessboard is all sparkly and I like sparkly things. So that's what I want next. And I want to display it though. I don't want to have it in my like purse. I just want to have it there on my wall. So it's playing some fantastic things. The quest for the Holy Grail. That's what it is. It's the Holy Grail. Thank you. Thank you, Dad76. I couldn't remember. I just remember that the Knights of Ni. We are the Knights of Ni. And there's a knight that never gives up. And he's quite funny. He's like, no. And he's like got his arms chopped off and he's like got no legs. And he's like, no, I'm never going to give up. Yeah, we are the Knights of Ni. Harry Potter. I do really like Harry Potter. I was obsessed with Harry Potter, especially when it first came out. And the books, I love the books so much more than the films. The films I find are disappointing. Oh, Jovanka, you blundered because you did not. Oh, well, fortress it is. Take the pawn, take the pawn, take the pawn. Anyway, I thought, okay, so what is the name of the principal character of Harry Potter? It's Harry Potter, is it not? I was so lucky I got away with it because he could have played c7 and there's no way I can stop that queen. But I got away with it and maybe I got away with it. Maybe I didn't. I got away with it because I have bishop to e5 check. Ish. Or still wild. Wild. Ooh, good. I can put my bishop here. Yeah, I was worried about bishop f4. Okay, there's no pawns coming there. Blockade them, and now what we are going to do is the king is going to dash over. The king, the king. Okay. Yeah, c7, c7, bishop e4, 5. I had bishop e5 check. But it's bishop f4. And there's mess. c7 is coming. I think I'm lost. Yeah, I think I was lost. Primarily because I did some miscalculation. And I was chatting about Harry Potter's and is an IM stronger than a WGM? Yeah, I think they're roughly about the same, to be honest. I mean, on paper, the International Masters is a higher title, but I know plenty of women grandmasters who are just as good as International Masters. Okay, let's move here. Let's take. I can't, and I resigned. Okay, so let's move. Oh, back, Sven. There I see Sven, and now I've promised that if Sven plays e4, I'm going to play e5. So here he comes. There you go. I don't know. That's not chess. That's not chess. Okay. Well, what I will do is I will not castle. So there you go. We're going to be evens. No castling. Do you think King's Gambit is a good opening for beginners around 1700? Yeah, I think so. There's no reason. I don't think there's any bad openings at the lower levels. I think they tend to be a little bit more imprecise and higher rated, higher levels. But that's because they have more time and they have more energy to figure things out. For most people, you can get away with playing anything because people make mistakes. That's my philosophy. And I've seen one of the great things about commentating on the Champions Chess Tour is that I've seen a lot of mistakes happen. And this made me think, okay. Oh, I forgot. Oh, sorry, I forgot. You can't castle, Sven. And I wasn't meant to castle. Yeah. Sorry. That's all I can say. And yeah, I know, but I don't like this bomb cloud. That's one opening I hate. I hate it to the end of time. I think it's awful. I don't know why people are doing it. It kills the game. Everybody makes mistakes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so hang on a second. What am I playing with? I am playing, how much time? 156. Okay, and now I'm going to speed up. Some bone clouded a bit too much yesterday, out of tilts. Yeah, don't do it. That's the one. Just don't do the bone cloud. Anything but the bone cloud. Unless you're playing in a tournament which is called the bone cloud, in which case, go for it. Go for it. But until then, okay, so now we go here. Now I have my eyes on this e5. That's my prize. If I don't myself lose all my pieces. Let's take this because you can't castle. Sorry. And then that's a good move to prize my bishop of the f5 square. Very good. And now but you're in my half of the board. One does not accept that this knight is on f6. Get out. There's a bone cloud on. I don't know. I made that up. Okay. One does not simply walk into my position with that knight. Okay, now the queen comes back. Now you have to support it. Now we undermine. You do not have that pawn structure and get away and allow that to happen. I'll take the pawn and then I'll take the pawn and then... Okay, right. Take that pawn and then now your knight is too strong. I don't like it. And then, do you have any good discovereds? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe you do have a good discovered. Okay, I set a trap. And my trap is if he goes knight takes pawn, I'm going to play queen to e3 check. And if he plays queen takes queen, I go pawn takes. And then I win a piece. I think, okay, sorry, I was distracted by the position, so I forgot about check. I have a Norwegian tech, he's a sound technician. I want to check one too. Check. Very good. Very, very good. We like that joke. We do. Big fan of dad jokes. And I also, on the Disney one, I can recommend Jungle Cruise. That's very good. It's got Dwayne Johnson, and it's brainless, but it's fun. What if rook takes? Yeah, then pawn takes. And then I think I capture your queen. Oh no, but then this queen takes, oops. So that would have been a mistake. Oh well. So I had planned a mistake. Never mind. 7 seconds left for Sven. Not much time. And let's put there. Let's put there. And then let's put there. Okay, exit. Mate wants to play, so let's play against mate. And Dwayne Johnson. If I have a check joke as well. Okay. Yes, I'm meant to tag Deaf Moon. Let's have a look at while I'm waiting for mate to play. Oh, it has to be a Caracal. My bone cloud didn't work. Well, it did because I did. Whoops. Well, it did in a way. It wasn't. The position wasn't so bad. Now the bishop will come out to g4. And now to do next time, yes. And it worked much better than it deserved. It's true. It did. It did. Okay, so bishop takes knight. Oh, I actually could have reserved my bishop. Never mind. I say no. And yeah, I'm always a bit skeptical about white playing this type of pawn push in this type of position, because the pawn structure determines the nature of the game. And here it's closed. And when you think of chess as a war game, you're like, okay, knights, they like closed positions. Bishops, they like open positions. So when you apply that rather basic logic, you're kind of like, well, don't play e5 because black has the weapons. Black has the fun there. And now I've won a pawn. Will I take the pawn? Yes, I will. With pleasure. And then I will regret it, because maybe I have done something very basic too. I have neglected my development big time. So we'll see how it goes. There is no studying the bomb cloud. The theory will install itself into you when you're worthy. No one is worthy of the bomb cloud. And now I laughed a lot. I have lived a lot. And I have made a terrible mistake. Okay. Well. What doesn't pay to be greedy when all your pieces are sitting in the back row of a movie on a Saturday night. Hikaru went from 400 to 3,000 blitz playing the Bon Cloud. Really? But it's not that bad. Yeah. But I think I read somewhere that he might have got some like wild card into a tournament and he won't be playing the Bon Cloud. And Queen G5 doesn't work because of F4. Yeah, that's right. It didn't work because of that. So that's why I put my bishop on D6, and I was hoping that maybe, I was calculating that maybe knight takes pawn would be a problem, but I think I'm okay because the king is one move away from castling. Okay, now he has to do something about his rook, and maybe there's even a second pawn up for grabs. We likes that. He'll play the Grand Prix. Yeah, and then, oh, but that might be too little, too late, because your rook was up for grabs. And I have this beautiful pawn on G7, which stops the knight to F6 check. And now I fully am intending to take your knight. Yeah, and I went from 1,700 to 1,400 with the Bon Cloud. What's the big deal? Yeah, exactly, Jesse. And okay, so I'm waiting for your challenges. Anyone challenge me? Normally there's, oh, Jesse, there you go, Jesse Core here, and from Finland. So now I'm going to play D4. Oh, hang on a second. I've accidentally accepted a 1 minute. Okay. Warning alert. Oh no, he's going to, okay, so always be prepared for like bishop h3s coming your way. Okay. This was not part of the plan for bullet chess. Okay, I don't have that prepared. I have the dark squares. And then to challenge me, you must answer me these questions 3. Yeah, this is my moment in the sun. 1 minute chess. Okay, okay, knight comes in. Let's pre-plan that. And I have a plan. I have an idea. Oh, the lolly's mate is in the air. Okay, but he spotted that. Okay, defend, defend. Let's take. Capture. Open up the king. Okay, I won. No 1 minute games though, because they're just way too fast and I can't. Was my queen? Yeah, okay. A mate wants to play, I accept. 3, 2. So I think we played before mate. We did. Okay. Defend, attack, and repeat. Yeah. Or that is normally how you handle the Caro-Kann. You defend, then you attack, and then maybe you win, maybe you don't. Okay, so let's go here. And develop my knight. Develop my knight. I'm going to take that pawn. Okay. I'm going to, maybe this isn't. It should be fine. It should be fine. Okay, let's cover this. And how do we challenge you? So you challenge me by going on to Kasparov Chess. If you have an account, then all you have to do is challenge me. I'm the little hat on 3 minutes, 3 minutes plus 2 seconds, or 5 minutes. You can play with the white pieces, black pieces. I don't mind. You can even play chess 960. That's cool. I'm up for that. If you don't have an account with Kasparov Chess, then you have to create one. And then remember to challenge the little hat. The little hat, and she will accept everyone within reason. So you don't, are there more redheads in Britain than in the rest of the world? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. Just looking at the time. And no, you don't have to be a premium member as well. That's super important to know. You just have to like chess. Ha ha ha. And okay, well, now we have a very solid position. I have a set of knights. One thing I know about these positions is I like this square. So I'm going to pre-move rook takes rook. Being a British person, do you feel obligated to play the London system? No, is the answer to that. I don't feel obligated to play the English. In fact, I hate the English. Where is the challenge button? Not sure. Didn't you ask this exact question earlier? This position smells drawish. Yes, it is a little bit drawish. It's a little bit symmetrical, but there's one big difference. I have a knight and he has a bishop. So I'm going to try to squeeze this position just on that basis. That I have a knight and he has a bishop. And this bishop is blocked in by my wall of pawns. So there you go. And now I'm going to go for this guy. And one thing that I do is I am trying to control the C1 square. And he who controls the bottom row of a line controls the line. So I've learned that when I don't know what's going on in the game, I just say, this is drawish to me, and everyone agrees. Yeah, that's I was reading this a book called Never Let Me Go. It's by a Japanese author, and they discuss chess. She plays chess growing up, and she's really eager to learn chess. And one of her friends plays it, and one of her friends says she knows how to play chess, and she looks at everyone else playing chess, and she kind of comments, "This move is like so bad. They're so amazingly dim at chess." So the girl actually buys a chess set, and she badgers her best friend, let's play chess, teach me how to play chess. And then it transpires that the girl doesn't know how to play chess. She thinks that all the pieces move in an L shape. So she's like, okay, cool. It's called Never Let Me Go, and I think it's Kazguro is her name. Okay, critical moment here, because my queen has left the king side, and that signals one thing, and that is my king is in danger, a huge danger, and I was not paying attention. And if I move my rook all the way up to there, then the queen comes diving in here. I might be able to get away with it, but only because I have to sacrifice some material. It's okay. 30 seconds. Yeah, Ishiguri, that's the one. So I haven't read too many chapters on this, but I like that scene where the girl thinks that all the chess pieces move in an L shape. Okay, so I'm playing with fire. And you know what happens when you play with fire? You get burnt. Yep. There you go. It's covered. It's covered. It's covered. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. You're threatening checkmate. We hide the king. You escape. There. That's all covered. This knight is the king's best friend. That's something that for me was one of the most important lessons of the Champions Chess Tour. He doesn't have time. 6 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Da, da, da. No. Knight takes. And now let's come back. And hang on a second, let's drop my queen off somewhere, because you want to play knight here. You want to play knight here and pair up with the queen. And that makes you tricky. Okay, I will defend. Okay, and you're not threatening anything. Let's take. Cover everything. For trade of queens, because let's be ruthless like that. Push the pawn. And again. I'm not too proud to push my pawn. And rooks behind pawns. Attack. Push. Attack. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, hang on a second. Ivanka and David, it's a pleasure to watch. Oh, thank you, Sid something. And Napoleon, he can never, yeah. I mean, it's a sad kind of situation. And suddenly, okay, Tej, I accept you. You want to play? And no, I mean, Ali Reza, he's really a great chess player. And it is something a bit sad about leaving your homeland, not being able to represent Iran. But okay, he's playing for France now, and he's doing a fantastic job. I mean, they won the silver medal, right? They won a silver medal in the European Team Championships. He played some incredible chess. And I think, you know, he's going to play in the candidates. The future is bright. It's castle. If you play queen c7, I'm going to play h3. I'm not going to fall for that one. Okay, let's put my bishop on f3. What platform are we playing on? We're playing on Kasparov Chess. So if you want to challenge me, you have to open an account with Kasparov Chess and just challenge me. That's it. You don't need to be a premium member to take me on. You just have to have an account. It's as simple as that. And my name is the Little Hat. That is me. Everybody else is playing under their real names, and then there's the Little Hat. Okay, so there's been consequences of pushing that. Okay, so we grab. You know me, you offer me a free pawn. No, can't say that. That's if you offer me free material, I'm gonna take that one. I had Fever decide to make the candidate Safira would have to play all his games with knight odds and blindfold. maybe he's playing so well. The thing is, though, I mean, it was a good season, so it might be the situation that he comes and plays the candidate, so we see a different Firouzja. He's also very young as well, and traditionally it's kind of said that when you're young, you're a little bit more erratic, a little bit less stable. But I think it's so brilliant. If he gears up and challenges Magnus, wow. I have 2 standard games tomorrow, so I would rather watch. Yeah, has anyone figured out how to challenge it? I'm new to the KC side. If you scroll up in the chat, Kasparov Chess on Twitch has given the instructions. So you just challenge me, and when I'm playing, I will be appearing as busy. So at the minute, I'm playing a Taisi. And a Taisi has an interesting position. It's very complex at the minute, but there's one problem with the king. Okay, so I see the point. I see. I should have respected that point. But okay, so the point is that he wants to play f5 and g4 and open the h line. And I did not respect that because I was too busy talking, but I will respect it now. Okay, so let's block this line up. And I'm relying on the queen defending horizontally. So after knight takes pawn, pawn takes, the queen can come to g2, and all is good. And still, I'm saved by the fact that the king on e8 doesn't have a comfortable home. Okay, we take. And now the queen comes and says, do you want to swap off? I will definitely swap off queens. And then we'll challenge the rook. I think I can pre-move that one relatively safely. Okay, so I kind of want to trap your rook. How can I do that? Like this. Try not to blunder material, Jovanka. I think there's 2 players playing the game. Okay, Okay, so hang on, let's have a look. I still think Fabiano is the favorite to win the candidates. I don't know. I think here anything goes, to be honest. I'm not really sure who is the favorite to win, so to speak. Hmm. 2 minutes. Okay, let's just grab material. When in doubt, win pawns. I'm also really curious to see how Jan will do actually in the candidates, because I suspect that he might simply just do very, very well. You know, his performance was so downhearting, dispiriting is what the word I want to use. It was so dispiriting that he might just go, great, that's enough for me. I've had enough of chess. Or he might say, actually, I don't like this. And he might do really, really well. And remember, he has trained now for quite a few months in preparation, and the hard work will pay off. We just don't know when. That's the nature of chess and hard work. Sometimes the hard work doesn't pay off immediately, but it will do. Magnus is just flexing. Yeah, Magnus does seem to be insanely strong. It's incredible, actually, how good he is. I kind of want to checkmate you. Let's play it like this. No, it's really incredible how strong he is and how he just keeps leveling up. I love that quote by Rustam Kazimazhanov where he says, Magnus is an unknown. It's unknown how great he is. So, oops, I just noticed that my head got chopped off. So, okay, there we go here. And your king is caught in a cage, and I'm going to ignore these 2 pawns and I'm going to go king hunting. There you go. And how do I king hunt? Using my bishops. It's coming in, it's closing in, but my king has gotten in the way of my rook. That's what I wanted. His new goal is 20. Yeah, I was asked about that just recently. What do I think of Magnus's interview? And I can understand his perspective, but I do think at the same time, there's no way that he will never play a world championship match again. I think when the time comes, he will do it because his desire to win is just too strong. As I think he's a little bit hype. He's bigging up Firouzja. Okay, so I've seen mates, we've played twice against each other, so I wouldn't mind it if someone else challenged me. So someone else who I haven't played before. I like how simple you make chess sound. Yeah, chess can be simple. Sometimes, you know, you've got to remember to take it back to the basics. And other times it is incredibly difficult. There were some games in the World Championship match, which is just, they were just insane. I mean, the computers were pointing out all these kind of solutions. And at times, you know, when we're look at positions with the assistance of computers, we forget the kind of human element. We forget how scary things are. And I was just very impressed. Copycat chess. And now we're going to I'll step back. We forget everything. Okay, now triangle. Woohoo! Solid. Oh no, that was a bad move, J Moon. You forgot your bishop. Sorry. And now I'm going to make life difficult for you because I'm not going to let you castle. Sorry. I'm always busy. Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, such is the way. Busy. But it's better to be busy than not to be busy. That's what we tell ourselves. Now I'm going to bank it. My queen is going to come off the board. And now I'm going to, yeah, let's just take that off. We'll take this one off as well. Kill the game. Be ruthless. And grab material. Oh, is that aloe vera in the background? It is, actually. It is aloe vera. So yeah, I'm in England, so I'm not in my normal territory. I don't have my own desktop computer with 2 screens. Here's just my traveling laptop and me. So there's at times the camera angle has been a bit strange, but it's not bad, this computer. It's good. Oh, why didn't I play knight to d3? No, I can do it now. Knight to d3. Pre-move, bishop takes knight. Thanks for the entertainment. Thank you, Sid. Thank you for watching. And I have to wish you a very Merry Christmas and all the best for 2022. And hopefully we go back to normality. And I agree with you, Vera is a beautiful name. And I also have a soft spot for that name because it's the name of Vera Menchik. And she's like the first women's world champion. And sadly, she was killed in the Blitz. But what I like about her is that she proved everyone wrong. And she was fighting with the best players in the world. And she lived a hard life, actually. I like that. Oh, we like your chin. My apologies. I'm trying. Maybe I should have put some books underneath. But okay. But okay. Love your commentating. Thank you, Jose. It's been quite an interesting year, you know, and the commentary has been pretty exciting actually, because we've kind of taken it back to basics, and at the same time we tried to amp up the drama where we can. And it's been such a challenge to not use coordinates and not to reel off all these lines and kind of go, oh yeah, at the end of it you can play this, and instead kind of break everything down and just try to make chess as accessible for anyone, you know, it's even someone who doesn't know how to play chess. So it's been thrilling, and I've really lucky to have had the opportunity that I did. I'm really quite blessed. So thank you everyone for watching the show and also watching today's stream. And I really want to wish everyone like really Merry Christmas. And I have my fingers crossed that to 2022 we can kind of go back to normality and we can kind of resume the travels and life can just come back to how it was. And maybe, you know, have this kind of beautiful mixture of online chess and over the board chess. That's what I hope for. At the end of the line, you can go to the horse, jumps to the other square above the other horse. Yeah. You should try it for fun. It's not that easy. You know, we spent years and years and years training ourselves to talk in a specific way. And then to kind of scrap all that and just totally forget it, it wasn't easy. And, you know, we're getting better and better the more we practice. And it's certainly become quite enjoyable. And at times, you know, it's just a big laugh. How tired you get? Yeah, we do get tired. We do get tired. I mean, it's quite exhausting for us. But at the same time, the energy is not something that you notice while we're doing the show. It's after the show that you're like, oh, that was exhausting. And you have to kind of be your best self when you're commentating, and you have to be like 100% with your energy. And then when you finish it, you're like, oh, awesome. And we are buzzing, but at the same time, we are pretty tired. And I have to say, after game 6 in the World Championship match, I was exhausted. Simon was exhausted. David, he was buzzing. He's like, right, what can we do now? And he was like, let's go out. And we were like, no, it's like nearly midnight when we left the studio. And he was like, so much energy. And he just got a lot of thrills because this was his kind of, this is what made him happy when it comes to chess, playing those long grinds, and to see Magnus do like over 100 move victory. I'll play one last game for Kadantik, Christian Nedadic, and then we sign out. And I get the thrills from the attacks and the brilliancies, but at the same time, I can appreciate these long grinds. They're like a thing of beauty, because just think about it, you know, you have to outwit someone who is an incredibly precise player, and you have to try to trick them. That's intelligent stuff. I'm a big fan of grandmasters who specialize in this type of chess, because it also requires a lot of energy, a lot of resistance. If you're struggling, you have to keep on going. If you're winning, you have to find, or if you're better, you have to find the way that you're going to trick your opponent. Oh, hang on, I had a knight takes pawn. Whoops. I got a bit caught up there in the emotion. I don't even say Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas anymore. Oh no, why not? You always have to say these things because they make you happy. And you put Christmas music on and you feel happy. It's cheesy, but happy and good. Did you see the drunk? Did I see? No, I didn't watch that. I've seen clips of it. I saw the clip where David spots a queen trap. That was funny. I like that. And Magnus turns around in good nature and says, oh, that was cheating. Who are those grandmasters? So I think he was on the stream with David Howell and on the stream with Askill Brun, who's also on the show, and someone else. I don't know his name. He is never happy. Oh, Zoram. Death Moon. I knew I was dead as soon as I see. Oh, yeah. I think normally when I say it's because I've done something wrong. Don't worry. It's not you. It's me. Always me. Jason, thank you. And a Merry Christmas to you too. I'm a bit sad that I don't have any kind of Christmassy things here. I have some lights and some things. Okay, so any tactics? No. And push my pawn forward. I learned a good rule of thumb that when you are pawn up, you should push those extra pawns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I don't think I'm a pawn up. I thought I had won a pawn, but I didn't. What do you think of the player Henry the Black Death? Henry the Black Death? Well, he was a controversial character, if there ever was one. He got into fights. He was loud, from South London. Unusual. I always imagined these chess players to be quite kind of rich, wealthy, but they were anything but. They were the 13th son, and they suffered from deep, deep poverty. Right, Jovanka, this is what you do. You connect your rooks. There's nothing more powerful than a connected rook. You connect your rooks, you make sure you don't get any checks, and then you see this pawn needs to be pushed. Okay. Am I breaking my rule of thumb by capturing that pawn? Yes. Yes, you are. Okay. Now, what am I doing? there. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like messing around, playing stupid moves. Anyway, push that. Let's stay on this. Let's grab that one. Thank you. And then, yeah, welcome Raiders. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's my last game. And thank you so much for everything. Thank you for watching. And I would like to once again wish you all final Merry Christmas. I know I've said it many times, and all the best for 2022. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And I will see you all in the new year. In the meantime, go out, have as much fun as you possibly can.